Now, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, along with 8 cabinet ministers and nearly 200 business leaders, are in Serbia for a 2-day visit to talk trade. President Erdogan is expected to discuss the Turk Stream natural gas project and a planned Belgrade to Sarajevo highway with Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić. The two countries have signed a free trade agreement and several other investment deals. And TRT World's Hassan Abdullah joins me now from Belgrade. And Hassan, great to have you with us. Tell us a little bit more about what else the two leaders have been discussing.
Well, Azza, first of all, the two sides clearly are not satisfied with the current levels of trade. In 2016, the trade volume stood at $870 million. Now, both sides have said today that by the end of this year, they're hoping to cross the billion-dollar mark. And in the next few years, they're hoping to hit a target of some $5 billion. Now, they have renewed the free trade agreement. And also, in addition to some of the economic issues that were discussed today, that talk about investment and mutual cooperation, a number of political issues were also discussed, particularly the veto institutions that continue to operate in Serbia. The Serbian leadership has provided assurances to Turkey that it will take action against Gülenists.
How important are Serbia and Turkey for each other's economies?
Well, they certainly are quite important. Of course, they have mutual interest. Turkey is seeking greater market access. Turkey is seeking cheap labor. Now, when we talk about market access, particularly Turkey is interested in food export. It's interested in cheap labor here. And also a number of Turkish construction businesses are eyeing contracts, particularly for the construction of roads and also airports. In the long term, Turkey feels that Serbia could provide it with a leverage, particularly when it comes to the EU market. And when we look at Serbia, Serbia is in urgent need of investment. Already one of the Turkish groups has agreed that it's going to set up a textile firm here in Serbia, and that is going to create some 2,500 jobs. So certainly both sides say that the prospects are promising.
Hassan, Serbia has come a long way in less than a generation since the end of the Balkans War. What are organisations like the World Bank, for example, saying about its economic progress?
Well, Azza, the World Bank is saying that there are structural issues with Serbia's economic growth model. The World Bank is also saying that there's a need for fiscal consolidation. But at the same time, there is this acknowledgement that reforms have been introduced to the country's economy, particularly after the elections last year. And if you look at the GDP rate, for example, in 2016, it stood at 2.8%. And the World Bank's midterm forecast states that it's probably going to be between 3 to 4%. So the investors who were here today, they were saying that they are optimistic.
Hassan Abdullah, thank you very much indeed.